What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson, and welcome back to another episode of Burndown. So last episode, I had to stand out here and tell you guys that I basically failed and we didn't make it. Well, I bit off a bit more than I could chew. Life got me, a bunch of things happened, and we were unable to get the Maliboom out to Holly LS Fest West 2021. Although I did go out to the show, I got to meet some cool people, made a few new friends, got to see a lot of old familiar faces, and I had a wonderful time. And it was the perfect amount of time away from the project that before I left, I really kind of just wanted to set on actual fire, not these flames. Like, I really just wanted to push the thing out in the street and then watch it burn and laugh like a hysterical madman. But we didn't do that, which means none of the work that I did went bad. All we have to do is just figure out why it doesn't run. Now it's all. And it's a complete mystery. But what we're gonna do is we'll kind of recap. I'll show you guys what we got done. I did a lot of work in a short period of time, in my opinion. You know, some of you guys out there may be quicker and faster than me. Some of you guys still have cars on jack stands and you don't even know where to start. So I would say I fall somewhere in the middle category. I just usually throw a lot of effort and stuff, and 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna lie, it pays off. This go around though, I just knew that I was close, and even if I had gotten it, it wouldn't have been right. And I'll be honest with you, I still think had I put a little more effort in, maybe we got the thing running or not, but then I would have been trimming fuel at the track. You all know how that would end. I had a race set up with Robbie V. He came out swinging flat 10-0 straight off the trailer. So my car's never even been that fast before, so he probably would have handed me a nice gap. And then F-Bomb was killing it. Maybe we'll throw a couple videos on here toward the end of the video, some of the runs and things that I have on my phone still. Rita and Reed did amazing. Jeff was there. Everybody basically that made it, I hope they enjoyed it and had a great time. Although the wind came in on Saturday, kind of ruined the fun, and we left early on Sunday, and I didn't stick around for the finals or any of that stuff because it was just a mess. But let's pull the hood off this bad boy, kind of recap, show you some of the wiring, and then I will explain what we're going to do to try the very first fix that we're going to do to see if we can get the Maliboom to fire. So let's get after it. All right, for any of you that are out there in YouTube land wondering when I'm starting my fashion channel, because I'm so fashion forward, you can look for it spring of 2030 or whenever we quit screwing around with cars when they go electric, and then I don't have anything to do. So we'll just jump straight into fashion if you are wondering. So anyway, check it out. So I recapped this in the last video. The engine is in and ready to rock and roll. So I left off, I still needed a catch can because we're gonna move it off of here, and I still needed an overflow, but we should, bam, look at that. We got water. I mean, this thing was ready to rock and roll. Put that on. We got the steam vent hooked up to my guys down there. I mean, everything. We redid the entire wiring harness. This new guy, which is funny because I probably should tighten it up, but this is the alternator cut. So this technically should cut the alternator when the power in the back is cut. So that way I don't have to run a big cable all the way up and have a live feed going all the way through the car. Yeah, we got the starter wire is new. Like, everything basically this side of the engine is new. All the chassis harness that goes over to the lights is wired. We got a big old weather pack 6-pin connecting that. Yeah, so pretty much all this stuff was ready to party and rock and roll. Everything's dirty from sitting. So I started unplugging this, but we got the Terminator X. We've got my solid state relay. The wires, we're gonna zip tie it. It was funny because we got to this, I just hooked it up, but I'd like to put it on some nice plugs or whatever. Now that I have the time, we can probably get that far. I've got my little dude here with my new switch panel, and then up underneath, I showed you last time, but we got a bunch of wiring down there. And then we've literally cleaned everything going up to the back, because I used to have a big old honker right here, and literally we just have the one cable feeding the stud, and this goes back to the battery, and then these are just a couple things. One to fire the fuel pump, one to fire the fan, and one for the alternator cut. So, and then this dude right now is going to the back because we weren't sure if it had to go direct to the battery. This is the Holley power, because if it doesn't, I actually have a stud up there we could just stick it to, and then life would be gravy. So, well, that is that. So what I'm gonna do, and the reason my computer is unplugged, is I got it right here. Oh look, it's starting to rain. That's convenient with the sun out. Anyway, I borrowed a 58X harness. So the reason I borrowed this one is because my buddy Joe and I customized and shortened the one that I had, and that was also a 24X. The engine I have is now a 58. It should be a flip of a switch on the tune for the most part, but the wiring is different in the harness. And although we went through and did our due diligence, and you know, I think that 99% sure that that harness is fine, this should hopefully alleviate any question whether or not the harness is fine. So I'm going to pull my harness out. We're going to put this one in. It's only a couple connections to make it turn over, and this is the first start, or the first fix we're going to try. And if we can start it on this, that just means we missed something in there. We can go back and fix it. If this does the same thing as where this does, so when I can actually fire it and it'll run, but it doesn't have an RPM, then that means we have something else to look for. So let me pull this out. Let's get cracking. We'll dump this on, just connect it tentatively, and we'll cross our fingers. All right, so I've got this bad boy out, and yeah, thing's nice. It's a nice piece. So what we'll do now is I left my injector harness here, O2, and I think that's pretty much the sub injectors or whatever, or the sub harnesses I should say, for the actual harness. So we got our stock Holley here, ta-da, all the stock fancy fandangle and all the extra length that I didn't need on the OG one. So what we'll do now is I'll feed this into the car, plug the thing in, we'll cross our fingers, and if this runs the car, then that means we missed something on that. And if this does not, it does the same thing and it just chugs and we have issues, we have another problem going on. All right, so I pulled my harness out. I was going through this guy and I figured, you know what, let me just see what's what, make sure everything plugs in. And just out of curiosity, let's see if I can get these guys. I line these boys up, and one of these things is not like the other. And I didn't check this, and this was the one thing I was like, you know what, I want to make sure these aren't flip-flopped. Well, they're flip-flopped. This is my cam, and the pins are in the wrong spot according to the plug on the Holley. So I think I found it, but now I'm torn. I'm going to take a second to think about if I just throw this on and test it, or I just put this back in and we call it a day, because I think that is the issue. So I'll think about it a minute, and then we'll go from there. All right, survey says I'm going to flip-flop those wires and put the damn thing back in, because I think we were 99.9% of the way there, and I had a sneaking suspicion, but we flipped the wires around on the crank. We did not do the cam, and we double-checked that all the pinouts and the wires went where they were supposed to, but I never had eyes on the actual sensor, because it's up underneath on it, from the plug to the sensor, to make sure A, B, and C were where the diagram said it should go. And it was funny because that was one of the things I was gonna check when I got home, and I'm like, I'll just pull it out and we'll just do it this way for sure. Well, you know, now that I have it on the bench and I had eyes on it, get a little ahead of myself. So I'm gonna flip-flop those pins on the bench. We're gonna stuff it back in, so we'll have the custom harness in place, and if it fires, then man, we were darn close. And you know what, I'll feel better about it, and we'll be able to start wrapping some things up and getting this show on the road. So now I'm gonna do the reverse of what we just did. After we flip-flop the pins, we'll stuff it back in, then you guys can all wish me luck. We'll hit the key, and hopefully Bob is your uncle. Okay, the nice thing about a custom harness is it went back in really fast. Everything plugs in where it goes. That's why I opted to retry my harness, because I found a blatant issue. And then if it doesn't work, we'll just end the episode there, and I'll go back to troubleshooting. So yeah, let me double check, make sure the tune is in. I got the laptop hooked up, and then I'll bring you guys back before we hit the key, and we'll see how everything goes. But again, it's right back to where we started. Really nice that I have a nice custom harness once this thing is up and running. All right, here we go. We're gonna attempt it. I'm just gonna set you guys over here in case I gotta mess with stuff. I'm not gonna hold the camera, so we haven't started it to date, and I just chugged and did a bunch of stuff. So wish me luck. Let's do this. Look at, we got RPM, lights is happy, air fuel. Oh, air fuel it. That was without air fuel. I guess we could plug that in so we burn it on stuff. Ah! Woo! Alright, let me plug it in. I'll mess with it, but alright, we got it. Now it's game on. Feel much better about it. We got about 7 weeks till Rocky Mountain Race Week. I'll give you guys an outro, get this thing kind of running. I'll let you hear it, and then we'll give you some video from LS Fest West. And thank you guys for watching and supporting. Hopefully we can start having some fun because the struggle has been real. That's for sure.
All of the working together is great, no doubt.
Alright, this is just first pass.
We'll talk
See how
more
he
about
does.
your wagon project
Little
as we
Henry
go,
J, I think
because I want to hear what all the plans are
They had
for
a
it.
full-on oil down,
Ladies
so
and
they didn't
gentlemen,
wait
we are racing here on the drag strip for test and tune again.
on, Mr.
Fred,
Jeff.
what class are we in right now?
Well, right now, it looks like they're, yeah, they pulled them out. So right now, this should be the 10.5 Warrior Index. That was the Grand Stroller look. And these guys look, let's just say, a tad more serious ventures in it. So this might be the 10.5 Warrior Index. Hey, ladies.
550 index to 1 and 3, 550
Jack,
index to
Jimmy.
lanes 1 and 3, LS trucks to 5 and 7. Right full full. Tire spins to right and goes left a little bit, brings it back in.
869.
869, 119 miles an hour. Folks, we can't have you guys standing on the fence in front of the grandstands. You got to be in a seat in the grandstands.
See, this does
Unfortunately,
64.
the health department. Also, please put on your masks. We need you guys wearing those. Again, all of you that are standing on the fence in front of the drag strip grandstand, that's all of you. Cars going down the racetrack, you're leaning against the railing. We need you off of the railing.
978 and 140. Nice.
Like today.
Hey, slap Uncle Gus up there.
Alright, so I'm up there.
Oh, perfect.
Look at that placement.
Oh, he's gonna have a crease. Oh no!
I have to take him back off because I made it.
There you go.
Perfect. Good job.
Perfectionist.
Oh, I
like
love it there.
Awesome job.
That's Uncle Gus.
Nice. Alright, let's see how Robbie does.
You know,
I was supposed to be running with
might
Robbie,
hate,
but
Dodge guys might hate the fact that he put an LS in that early Plymouth.
he clicked off at
Barracuda,
10-0
but,
last time. We'll see if he goes a little quicker.
But you know, he's got it on the road. It's costing.
10:35 and 135. Now we got Reed racing the hearse. This is actually pretty cool.
All right, got the hearse.
Because I think that's like an 8-second
That's
car.
Jason Pickett out of Alt, Colorado. 93 big honking Buick Hearse.
Get a
Reed
read
Davis out of Ontario, California in the 65 Tempest. Reed never walked out of a big 600
Jim and Angel. Angel doing a shakedown in the C10. And you all know Jim, the fastest car. He barely got that thing back together a little while ago, so I think this is the first pass in like a couple of years, so hopefully the thing goes straight. I do well.
I want to thank all you senators for coming out and all of you spectators here to watch our MSD LSX drag race. Currently in 8 run test.
Ah, geez.
This is for Gaston Lake Model heads up. Girls LS.
11, 21, 43, and 12:52, 93. Oh, we got a casualty. Car casualty, that is.
That come off? I steered 4 of them.
Well, you got a great video.
Well, that's what a 152 60-foot does.
Nice work. All right, well, I am very excited, very relieved. That is a wrap. Ran the car a couple more times. We got a bit of a little water leak coming out on the bottom radiator hose. I have a really hokey hose that kind of goes in, and I just clamped it a bunch. So instead of doing that, I should probably take some time and make a decent one. So we'll have to look into that, which isn't a big deal. We can clamp it and get the thing to run and work on other issues. And then the alternator is not charging. So the new little jumper or cutoff deal, we got to double check, make sure that thing is working properly. And so I got a few more systems checks to do, but ultimately I'm done for the day. It is after hours. Put in enough time to make it run. I'm going to quit on a high for once because I've been quitting down in the dumps for so many days in a row, it's not even funny. So I will take this win, and we are going to ride this momentum back up. The cool thing too is it's really not loud at all, so with mufflers this thing will be nice and tame for street driving, which I'm excited about. And then I'll be able to hear any sort of noises or anything. Like I even heard a little exhaust leak on this side with it open right now. So with mufflers it's going to be beautiful, and then it should open up and get nice and rowdy with that loud valve. We're going to check out all that stuff and run it. Dyno time, all that stuff is coming your way. So big shout out, thank you to all my buddies that helped me out. Turbo Joe, KP Fab and Tune for lending me a quick harness so I could at least try stuff, which I didn't even have to do anything with except look at. Guess I could have done that at the shop the other day. And everybody else on here that keeps cheering me on, supporting me. We're going to start bringing these videos back. We'll start doing weekly stuff. And we are going to make it to Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0, especially now that I have a running car and I didn't even have a chance to blow it up. Feeling much better about my odds of actually making it with a running car all the way to Great Bend. And then hopefully it holds out, we do well, we have fun. That's what it's about. You guys, till next time, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.